All righty. Let's say good morning to the Zoom folks.
Good morning. I see an STLR. Hi, Kathy.
Hi, how are you, Kinyofu?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good.
Good morning, everyone.
Hi, Hattie.
Hey, Kenyafu, great morning.
Hi, great morning.
Yes, yes.
Hi, Louise. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Kinyofu. Good morning, everyone.
I'm so excited. So, look, I'm glad that you are here to join me this morning. So, we're getting ready. We're just doing a little warm up to today's activity, which is called It's All Relative. I hope you have your dreams. Hope you've been thinking about your childhood dreams. So we're going to be talking about what they are and also what blocked you, what stood in the way of your childhood dreams if you're not living your childhood dream. So think about that. And yeah, I don't know, like just this is gonna be fun. I'm expecting to have a nice easy flow conversation. I have some things to show you. So if you're out there, Facebook, you can come in here. Good morning, Nigel and team, John and Shawnee.
Morning.
All right, more people are coming in. Great. Doors are wide open. Good morning, Teresa.
Good morning.
The doors are wide open. Do step in. Hi, mommy.
Hello, Kinyofu. Good morning.
Good morning. And Moto E6.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, together, we're learning, discerning. We're striving. Together, together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together, together.
Kenyafu, you're on mute.
Yes, thank you. I got it. Good morning, everybody. So, as I shared before, today's topic is It's All Relative, and I'm grateful to have you here today. I am going to ask you to think about your dreams because we're going to be talking about them. So, if you had a chance, and by the way, my name is Kim Yofu, and you know me as the parent-child whisperer and birth advocate. So if you had a chance, if you didn't have the chance to read the synopsis, yes, we're going to be looking at your childhood dreams as it relates to your the way that you were raised, the information you were given as a child, and the expression of where you are now. So if you are living your childhood dreams, great. If you are not living your childhood dreams, great, because you can still do that. We're going to look at what blocked you, what has blocked you in the past from doing that. So if you can actually type in the chat right now what some of your childhood dreams were, that would be awesome. So I have a childhood dream that I'm not, well, I am sort of kind of living, but it's a different experience for me, as it took me a while and is looking different. But first, before I even do that, I have this slide that I found when I did the Facebook Live yesterday. I was playing and I saw this, I was playing and, okay. I'm right now playing with my different screens I have up. But here, this was fun. I wanted to share this. Right, so this was the gold sparkly stuff is like what makes me happy, and it brings back childhood feelings. And I just want you to be in that space of like, do you feel it? Do you feel it, right? I'm feeling it, I'm loving it, and I'm learning to find those little things that make me happy, because those little things that make me happy are going to be those things that drive me. They become my driving force. So this is Gold Sparkles. I'm sharing that with everybody. One of my childhood dreams was to share the wealth. So I was going to be rich and famous, and I was going to just spread, you know, joy, love, and happiness, and money to people. So that's my gift to you. All right, so are there any dreams coming up in the chat? I see some stuff that's awesome. All right, so when I was little, I wanted to be king of the world. Now remember, I'm really, really young, so I don't know one thing. I don't know queen from king. I don't know girl from boy. I just know that people speak about kings and people speak about presidents, and that's what I want. I want to be somebody big that's going to change the world, because I saw that there were some things that wasn't right with the world. And I wanted to bring peace, and I wanted to save the children from mean adults. And I also wanted to be an artist. So let's see, I see. Childhood seems so far away. It really is, but the child is there. So just bring her out. I see a couple of you are working on bringing your child out. That's fine. I am going to show you a video that's going to help you find that child, find that dream that you once had. And when you listen to the video, you'll be like, oh, me too. But this is a short clip that I'm going to show you now, and I'll show you a longer clip later. So here you go.
I always said that I wanted to be an artist when I grew up. Now that I'm a young adult, it's been harder figuring out how I can fit my childhood dreams into the real world. So for this video, I wanted to talk to adults and kids about their earliest dreams.
I don't know. I don't know what my childhood dream was.
I think my childhood dream would be to go into space.
Oh, my childhood dream was to be an archaeologist.
Wanted to play for the 49ers.
Like be a pro skateboarder.
Yeah.
Or a pro snowboarder.
Yeah.
Actress.
You know, sitting in the desert, sitting there with my little brush doing what it do, you know. It's like, oh yeah, look, I found a dinosaur, we're gonna name it Dave. That was my dream.
All right. So, what was your dream? Hattie wanted to be a doctor, to be happily married with 7 children. Wow, live in a big house. That house would have to be big with 7 children. I wanted to be a nun to help people be happy. All right, that's so cool. Oh, you want to be married and a nun, or either or, but that's the options that children allow themselves to have. There's no limitations, right? So my dream, oh, Nigel's just reiterating the question. Yeah, what was your dream? So I would like to see your dreams come into the chat. As a child, I dreamt of being a surgeon, says Jacqueline, a fashion designer, a nun, but most of all, an artist. Yeah, I hear you. So again, the title of this topic is, today's topic is, it's all relative. And I'm playing on the word relative. So we know relative as people in our family, people who are in our support system. And we also, like, you know, the mother, the father, the uncle, the sister, the brother, right? But we also know relative as in something in relation to something else, right? So the relative position or arrangement of something is what I'm speaking about in that aspect of relative. So when considering relative as in your family, you are thinking about the things that they said, the things that they did, the people who they were, and how they supported you. So think about your dreams and think about your relatives. When you're thinking about relative as in position or relationship to something, you're thinking about the judgment that occurred or that occurs in life in general. So we have this, you know, we have good here and bad here. I'm sure all of us have heard that. And like, what is this bad here, right? So somebody created that. It wasn't for our benefit. It's definitely a judgment. It is one against the other. There's smart versus stupid. So as an identification, someone calls you you're stupid, then that's totally saying who you are, when in reality it's not. So maybe you did something that wasn't smart, but that doesn't mean you're stupid. Maybe you are good in math, but you're not good in reading. Maybe you're good in reading, but you're not good in art, right? Maybe you're good in art and learning, but you're not good in relationships. Maybe you're good with relationships, but you're not good in, I don't know, dancing. So it's all relative. We also can think about trash versus treasure. So there's people who will use something and then decide they don't want it anymore and they throw it in the trash. And then there's people who will come right behind them and pick up that trash. And to that person is treasure, right? It's all relative. Our ability to dream and actualize our dreams depends on the position our relatives and support system take in relation to us. And I'll read that again. Our ability to dream and actualize our dreams depend on the position our relatives and support system take in relation to us. So I'm looking at chat again. I see Nigel saying, I wanted to be great. I was going to be a corporate attorney making big deals. I could see you doing that, Nigel. Jacqueline, I wanted a lot of TV. I watched a lot of TV, so I wanted to have powers like Jeannie and Samantha from I Dream of Jeannie and Bewitched. Me too. All right. Okay. Cheryl's a me too. Jacqueline, she still wants that. Okay. All right. We can work on that. And Cheryl, she wanted to be a pediatrician. Yes. I wanted to be a pediatrician at one point also. All right. So take a moment to think about what position a relative in your life took around one of your dreams. I want you to type that in the chat. So, you know, a position could be, yeah, I can help you with that. That's a great idea. Like even with Jacqueline saying she wanted to have magic powers like Jeannie. And I'm like, yeah, go for it. We can figure it out. The magic does exist. So, you know, let's see what we can do. And all right, so let's see what's coming up in the chat. Nothing yet. I wanted to be a pediatrician. And okay, so I'm going to say my story here is that, well, first, before I wanted to be a pediatrician, like I said, I wanted to be king of the world. But then that just seemed like too vague. And as I got older, I realized it could be something else. And I landed on artist. So before I was like pediatrician, I landed on artist. And what I wanted was to really have fun doing what I was doing for making money. I don't know if I was even thinking about making money, but I wanted to draw. I discovered these how to draw cartoon books, and I was drawing and I was having fun. I was feeling good. And I was like, okay, Ma, I don't know if you remember this, Mom, but I was like, hey, Ma, you like what I did to my Charlie Brown? You like my Charlie Brown? And you like my Charlie Brown. I was like, great, I'm going to be an artist. And you know, the feedback I got was, oh man, artists don't make money. And I'm sure in some cases that's true, but I also know that there are artists that do make money. But what did I know? So I'm like, okay, I guess I should make some money. So then I thought about being a pediatrician. Okay, so I see Jacqueline, I used to draw for my students. And John says I can relate. John is an artist and John is making money. Teresa wanted to be a mother. Yes. Oh, John, you even heard that similar growing up. So tell me about that. Now I'm curious. You heard that artists don't make money, yet you are an artist now. Can you share?
Yes. Growing up, as we know, back in the days, even though art was everywhere, people will say you can't make money as an artist. And every time I look around, the billboard, the newspapers, everywhere art was there. And plus it was a passion. I couldn't deny it. It was a strong driving force within myself. And I wasn't doing well in the other areas of my schooling and academics and such. Couldn't pay attention because, you know, as I've shared, the hearing issue. So I just kept all of my energy went into my art. When I didn't relate with other things outside of myself, I related to art. And eventually, by putting all of my focus in that direction, it became the strongest aspect of myself, the thing that created the living that I desired growing up. And now, as like you, we can share this message that it doesn't matter what it is that you're interested in, with the support from relatives, you know, you can be successful and live a life of your dreams doing that same thing.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so, and the support of relatives. Yeah, I always had support of my relatives. They were there, my mother, my aunt, they were always there for me. And, you know, I went to all the my school programs. Even as an adult, when I would go to different events, they were right by my side, learning along with me. And that made me feel good. That kept me moving. So looking at the chat, oh, Jacqueline, your parents threw some water on your dreams also. And Cheryl says, I got supported in my desires by my parents. I also wanted to be a journalist. And Nigel, my mother was very practical. I used to create art as a child and loved it. I was praised for my musical and artistic abilities, but was told I needed to have a job that can support myself. Yeah. Kathy says, I don't remember my dreams, but know I love to create. I would cut up clothes, draw, and paint on them. sew sequins on them, redesign shoes, drawer. I was happiest surrounded by art supplies. I would paint on furniture that was in the basement. Oh, that's so cool. Jacqueline, she's a strong student. And so I went from artist to aspiration, so to be a surgeon. So I switched my focus to reading my older sister's medical books. Wow. I was a very good focused student, so I focus on academics. Okay, yes. All right, cool. Now, those were affirming messages and affirming actions that we got from our relatives. Now I'm going to ask you to think about those non-affirming messages that you were told, like, don't be stupid. Nobody can do that, especially not you, right? Was that you? Did you have any of those moments in your life when there was some version of that, some way that made you feel like you couldn't? So in my case, it was, oh, artists don't make money. So that stopped me from thinking that I could possibly pursue that career. And I went back because I got this message about money. I said, okay, so what makes money? What could I do? What would I like to do that makes money? And I thought about pediatrician. So I like children. This is me being in junior high. I like children, and pediatricians see children, and they also help them feel better, help them stay healthy. So it kind of fit into my big goal. And so I remember writing a paper in junior high about pediatricians, and that dream stayed with me until I was in high school. When I got to high school, I learned that pediatrician is an actual bona fide doctor, and doctors require 8 years of more education beyond high school. And I'm like, okay, nope, that's not it. See, I was in a high performing school, so we always had work, and it felt like the schoolwork that we had, the homework that we had, was college level work. So I didn't want to do more of that. I just couldn't see myself doing that. So Teresa says, okay, she wanted to be an advocate. Jacqueline, money, money, money. Yeah. And you never saw yourself as a wife or mother. I did not go to a private school. I went to a technical school. So Brooklyn guys, Brooklyn, I went to Brooklyn Tech. So yeah, I'm looking for some of the things that people might have told you, or things that you thought about, or that said to yourself that you couldn't do it. If you can put that in the chat, that would be wonderful. Facebook, if you have anything, drop that into your comment section and John will share with me.
Kenyofu, do you want to invite anyone off of mute to further share?
Let's see. Well, first of all, let me see what Cheryl says. She has a third grade. In the third grade, she had a math teacher who told the entire class that we were stupid and we would never get it. I suffered through math, believing that I could not do it, even as I as I took calculus in high school. Sure. Cheryl, do you want to share that? What was that feeling when your teacher said that, and what did you do about it?
Good morning, everyone. So the feeling was, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So yeah, that math teacher told me and told the whole class that we would never get math. I think we were probably trying to learn our long division or something like that. And it stayed with me. And it stayed with me all the way through middle school, high school. I would always have math as my lowest passing grade. And even though I was also still wanting to be a pediatrician and knew that I needed math and science and all of that, and I excelled in science, but math became like that crippling thing for me. And until I started working and I could calculate how much my paycheck was supposed to be, did I know I was disempowered completely around math. But once I could do that, it was like, I have what I need in math. And I got confident about it, and that broke, but that took a very long time.
Yeah. Yeah. Teachers are very powerful people. Guidance counselors, parents. Oh, all right there, Jacqueline. And it's really all adults, you know, like we really need to separate our childhood hurts from our present life so that we're not passing on those traumas. So it's traumatic to say to somebody that you're not going to get this, or you know that this is just too hard for you, so you should try something else. And even if we don't believe that if we don't believe that magic exists, if we don't believe that you can do magic, just go along with the get along, right? Just to have the child feel covered and feel supported. Who knows? That child might be the one to really grow up and create magic, because there was, before planes, there were no planes. And you know, these two guys, I remember their names, right? But I should remember their names because I took it in school. But anyway, the Wright brothers, they decided that they were going to spend all the money that they had, spend all the time that they had to figure out how to get this plane, this machine into the air. And if their parent or an adult in their life says, oh, that will never happen, and actually I'm sure they did, if these guys believe them, then we would not be flying in planes. We would not know what it looks like on the other side of the world. So anything is possible, and it takes a particular person to figure out a particular thing. Okay, Jacqueline, that's because she protected her inadequacies on you. Yeah. All right. So Charmaine says, I slapped the crap out of a nun who was unfair to Black students when math was concerned. Did you now? Okay. I would love to have been a fly on the wall there. All right. Oh gosh. Jacqueline, she says, I wished one dead. And she's talking to Charmaine, and she got, oh no. I'm gonna skip over that. All right, Zakia says, so late getting on. All right, my grandmother was my greatest advocate. My mother became that way later. My father and my paternal grandmother were the least supportive in supporting my dreams and goals. There's quite a few chats here, all right. And okay, Terry says, I got the mess smacked out of me by a nun over math. What? Okay, I'm not gonna go there. I'm like, there's a trend here that I'm not liking when I'm seeing or hearing. And I don't know, I don't have any experiences with nuns, but nuns are adults, nuns are people, and they are as important. They are important. So if you are a nun or know a nun, please let them know that children's lives and dreams and hearts are at stake. So let's support them. So I have another video that I'm going to show you, and it's a poem by somebody who you might have heard about before. Not me. So here we go.
What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun? Or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat? Or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load. Or does it explode?
Okay, That was a poem by Langston Hughes. And it's a dream deferred. So we have all experienced dream deferred. And what I want us to like really get into that. We spoke about some of those dreams. And the support system is really critical. So we might not have had a support system on one hand that was saying, yeah, go for it, but we might have had a support system on the other hand. So that wherever their support is where there's resilience. And my resilience was my family. As I mentioned before, that they were always there. So it wasn't the verbal. I didn't quite get a whole lot of verbal affirmation, but I got the in the body experience, like they were there. I could depend on them. And I also could depend on them for practical information. All right. Poem, so y'all like the poem. You heard of it before, great. Autumn Bowler from Facebook, she says, I had a home economics teacher who inspired me in junior high so much that I majored in that discipline in college. That's cool. Yes, because I was supported, I was able to follow my heart in the things I did. And one of the things that I discovered, the messages that I got came to me where I couldn't do, it didn't make sense. It wasn't an adult thing to do or a mature thing to do work that wasn't worthwhile. Like work needed to be work. That was my feeling. If I wanted to be an artist, artist is play, artist feels good, but artist is not work. So work needs to be something that I have to work hard at. Work it shouldn't be fun. So like this is the messages that I got about that. So but I still was pulled by my heart to do the things that made me feel good. And the jobs that I wound up getting were jobs that I like to do. They weren't jobs that I felt I had to do. And I created businesses around things that I could do, that I had talent in, which made me feel like I was doing something from my heart. The block that occurred for me is in the businesses that I did, I reached a glass ceiling. I was feeling like there was something that was missing where I couldn't get to the other side. And I had a coach recently who shared that that I'm making things harder than they need to be. And I tend to find myself doing that. The reason why I'm making things harder is because I'm making it be like work, so it could be more worthwhile. That was my aha moment. So I'm wondering if anyone else has a similar experience like that. And it might take some time to unpack that. So you might not be able to say that as clearly as I was able to say it because hasn't quite formed yet, but it's there and it's to be found. So I'm looking at Jacqueline. She says, I had a lot of support from my mother. Jacqueline, I think I'm going to bring you onto video. And then so instead of reading it, you can share it.
Okay. I had a lot of support from my mother and older siblings, except for one who I still don't speak to this day. She was very negative. I had a 6th grade teacher, Sister Bernadette, and she was a nun who was interested in art. And so she encouraged me to, work on my skills in art, because I did have some. To me, it was like I haven't practiced them, so I don't know if I can still do that. I probably can. I just haven't tried. But then there was this one teacher, Mrs. Morrow. Her mother was the secretary in the school, and she used to take us horseback riding, ice skating, and all of that as like rewards for working well in her class. And she was a math teacher. So math was always I loved math, but the way they made us do it in a Catholic school was very weird. Like we had to stand up and do the timetable by rote and stuff like that. So I wasn't really happy with that. But when I got to her, she made it fun. So later in life, it was all teachers that inspired me to do things that made me feel like I could do anything. And that's probably why I became a teacher. And that's it. I'm
That's
complete.
good. That's good, good, good. I wanted to be a teacher too at one point, and now I'm a teacher.
Yeah, you are.
I took the long route.
That's okay. It doesn't matter how you get there as long as you get there. Thank you.
Yes, yes. I remember putting up my dolls in little chairs and my dog, and I'll have my grandmother in my grandmother's house. She had this old-fashioned blackboard that was all scratched up. So we got a hold of some chalk, and I was teaching something.
Yeah, my mother did the same thing. I had a chalkboard, but I had nieces and nephews, so I forced them to learn their ABCs with me.
Yeah, I was the only child, so I got really creative.
Thank you.
Sure. So what are your dreams deferred? And what did your child self learn by having your dreams deferred? So let's see what I have in the chat. I see Terry, my mom had been my support. I did not always get her, and sometimes I still don't. However, I'm blessed to have come to this realization where she is still with me. Charmaine says, I wanted to be a model and to play netball for Trinidad and Tobago. My mother did not support my dream, and my father was not around. Nigel says, if you receive messages about work that did not support your childhood dreams, okay, no. Charmaine says, modeling and netball will not pay the bills. You need to prepare yourself for a husband. Yeah. Yeah. That's a message that women got. I wonder if the men got, I don't know. How many men are in this space? I would love to know what messages they got in terms of their being family people. I don't recall getting that message about preparing myself for a husband. But I might have. I just might have blocked it out. All right. So as children, we don't have a concept of what we can do and what we can't do. And we as adults, however, we live in that. Every day there's something that we're saying we can't do. Or if we're not saying it, we're feeling it. There's some block. So what is that block for you right now? If you could step out of the dream and come into your life, into your reality, what is blocking you right now? So one of my blocks, as I mentioned before, is really being in the space that I can create for myself and have fun doing it and have it be productive. I was like, I need more information. I need more time. And then I would put myself in the space of gathering all this information, but not having time to read it or write it or whatever the case was. And then I would get frustrated. So this was now like something hard to do. So I don't see anything happening in the chat. Where are you now? Who's living their dream or who's not living their dream? If you're not living your dream, something blocked you. And that thing that blocked you is blocking you now. So what do we have? I see Terry saying one of my blocks ended up being math. So I steered myself away from professions that required math and science. Yeah, there goes math again. So Terry, can you come on to video and share what that was like and avoiding math and science, and how has that affected you today?
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Yes, because I think I understood early that even science, when you get to a certain level, it really is math. So consequently, the medical profession, I shied away from. Engineering, I shied away from. So it really shaped my life, and it is one of the things that's in my bucket list that I'm working on stepping into my fear about.
Awesome. So what is stopping you? Okay, so it's on your bucket list. And when will you address that? When will you go get that dream?
Actually, I'm in the process of looking for a math teacher, because one of the things that caused me the greatest grief was word problems, and I want to go back and I want to tackle that. So I'm in the process of looking for a math teacher who will be kind to me and mentor me through that process.
Okay. I hear the word tackle. Tackle doesn't sound like fun. Can you come up with another word?
Embrace.
Awesome. All right. Word problems are in Terry's future.
Yes.
Nakia says she's her biggest block. Oh my, too many challenges to list. I continue to work on myself, getting better every day. Grateful that the one benefit I have is knowing I can't quit. That's resilience right there. Kathy is looking for a math teacher. Is there a math teacher out in the Wake Up Everybody world? You have 2 students. Jacqueline is a math teacher. Look at that. All right. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Okay. So let's go back to the video that I first played, and we're going to see what this woman uncovered. So I'm going to set that up for you. And here we go.
I am an undecided college student.
I went to college and became an officer.
A doctor.
I'm a CNA/activities assistant.
I realized I wasn't good enough.
Not that smart. I never got those kind of grades, and it's not in the cards for me.
It wasn't in the cards for me.
In my culture, it's not easy to be an actress. I'm from the Middle East, from Syria.
And so why didn't you end up becoming an archaeologist?
They told me I had to go to school for a long time. Come on, jeez. Nobody wants to go to school their whole life. I want to live. So here I am living life precariously through other lives.
I just suppressed that dream.
Is there any part of you that still wants to be an actress?
Not really. I have a daughter, and I wouldn't let. I mean, I'm not gonna prevent her, but I wouldn't encourage her to go in that field. It's hard.
Because you're too busy. So the kid would say, follow your imagination, and the grown up, I didn't hear you. I'll do it. I just need to eat breakfast, and I need to do work, that's.
I haven't really thought about that.
I want to be Iron Man and have Spider-Man. I need a doctor, a dancer, a ballerina, a teacher, a figure skating teacher.
I want to be a pro baseball player.
Awesome.
I want to be a singer and a doctor. A soccer player and a doctor.
Is there any advice you would give to your younger self?
I would say stick to one project. It took me many years to figure this out. I wanted to make a solar farm. I started a skateboarding school. I love making rock sculptures. I made one rock sculpture, that's all I made. I made it one painting and one painting only.
It's hard to stay on one path and not move to something else and then move on in a squiggly path, you want to do this.
Those nights alone you studied are worth way more than those nights you spent with all your friends partying.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna get so much further.
Yeah.
You're gonna have so much more to bring to your friends that stuck with you.
Yeah.
what would you tell them to do?
I would say to like quit all your jobs except one. I would tell them to be more mindful and just like relax and follow your imagination and go to sleep early, follow your imagination and like do what you want and follow your imagination.
I would say don't let other people judge you. Don't be always serious, have some fun.
No, this is good. I think you reminded us that
Yeah.
every day we should be checking ourselves here and there.
Skipping the small talk means having the chance to make friends with the people you usually pass by every day.
Yeah. Remember my name, right?
I will.
Okay. So I am, if you have any thoughts on the video, you can drop that in. There's patterns in our life, patterns that keep showing up. In school, we learned patterns, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. We got a little older and the patterns look a little different. 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7. I'm sorry, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7. Did I say that? 7, 8, 9, things like that. That was on YouTube, yes. And there's patterns in art, there's patterns in life. In our experience, we see patterns in our family, we see patterns in our community, we see patterns in our personal life. So we're going to unpack what those are. But we're going to look at the non-affirming patterns because those are the ones that get to be addressed. So in our personal life, being late, giving up, forgetting, attracting the wrong type of people, oversleeping, overeating, not exercising, not committing things, not keeping your commitments to yourself, being argumentative, overworking, overthinking, insecurity, being unmotivated, lack of vision, lack of discipline, lack of education. If any of those resonate with you, please type those in the chat. And if you have others to add, and I know that there's more out there, what are your non-affirming personal patterns?
Kenyofu.
Yes.
Hi, it is 7:48, so I wanted to make you aware of the time. And then if you wouldn't mind repeating those patterns that you did, I know I was not able to capture them all. And so I'm wondering if others did not capture them all as well.
Okay. Yes, I can do that. Didn't think about putting them on the slide. That would be you'll have been able to see it. So being late, but you know your non-affirming patterns, right? Being late, giving up, forgetting, attracting the wrong type of people, sleeping late, overeating, not exercising, being argumentative, overworking, overthinking, insecurity, unmotivated, lack of vision, lack of discipline, lack of education. Teresa says all of them. We have non-affirming family patterns. So this is going to sound familiar to ACEs. I have less of them here, but there's many of them. So non-affirming family patterns is divorce, single parenting, the same health issues like diabetes that runs in a family, high blood pressure that runs in a family, heart disease, those type of things. Financial challenges, poverty mindset, fear-based living, miscommunications, like people always arguing, not understanding each other. And I mentioned ACEs, and some of you might not be familiar with ACEs. ACEs is adverse childhood experiences. And those are the collection of stresses like what I just shared, and then some, that accumulate in our lives, that we experience in our lives when we're children. And the studies have found that 1 in 4 per people have at least one ACE, and like two-thirds of anybody, any community, is going to have 4 or more. And the more ACEs that you have, the greater your chance of having a shorter life, having more illnesses, that physical, mental, emotional illnesses that are going to cause you to have a shorter life. So I'm looking at Angela says, mind chatter. Hi, Angela. I see Charmaine saying, forgetting, attracting the wrong type of people. Yeah, so she's overthinking, working too damn hard. Okay. Theodora says, overeating, being late, not consistently exercising, most of them. Jacqueline, she's sometimes forgetful. I have been that way since I was 5 or 6, sometimes lack discipline. And Theodore, the poverty mindset. All right, thank you. Non-affirming community patterns. Okay, so this is the environment that you live in. Violence, illegal activity, isolation, noise. Maybe it's too much noise. Maybe you have people in cars playing loud music, or maybe they have their speaker in the household. They have the speakers in the windows. Who knows that type of living? Music on blast. Okay. Disrepair. That's where you have homes that are not kept up. Maybe the home owners don't live in that house, or maybe they do, but they don't have the funds in order to maintain the house. There's racism, there's high rents, there's gentrification, and there's segregation. And there's more. So if you have identified any of them as you can put those in the chat. If you identified something that's different, you can do that also. Yes, low vibration. Terry said fear of loss. Yes. So all these are stresses, and these stresses impact us growing up. Stresses change your brain. Okay. When we're stressed, our brain releases a hormone called cortisol. And cortisol increases blood pressure, blood sugar. It disrupts our sleep. It reduces our ability to learn and to concentrate. It deteriorates our social interaction, and it interferes with our decision-making abilities. And it also interferes with stress control. So what's interesting is that it creates stress, and it interferes with our ability to control stress. So what we're going to do now is to look at these non-affirming patterns and how they affect our brain and our lives and our dreams, and how we can turn it around. Now, what happens is we have these experiences, and we internalize the message. So there's a message that comes from someone saying, oh, magic doesn't exist, or artists don't make money, or you can't learn math, or you're stupid. And in your mind, you're saying, the thought is, I can't do it. I can't do it. And then soon you'll hear yourself say it, I can't do it. How many times have you said, I can't do it? Someone is asking you a favor, I can't do it, or I don't know how, or I don't understand. It's all part of the same thing. So you say it, and then it becomes an action. So now you really can't do it. You're sitting at this table, you have a math problem, you have your taxes, you have your you need to draw something, or want to draw with your child, and you're blocked. It's just not happening. And now it's a habit, because you believed these thoughts. You believed the words you said. You believe the actions that you took in the past. So does your life, does this have to be it? Is this your life? I'm looking at the chat, and Darnie says she didn't have the awareness of how much her mother was dealing with until she became a parent who was raising a teenager. And Terry says, thanks everyone for the great vibrations. Seems like she's leaving. She's humbled with gratitude. Or maybe not. She's okay, this is Terry who's getting a teacher, a math teacher, awesome. All right, so we're not stuck where we're at. It might feel like we are, but the great thing is that our brain is plastic. It's not real plastic, but it's called neuroplasticity, which means that it is changeable. We used to think that only children can change because they're young, but we can also. Now, every time you learn a new skill, you change your brain, right? So those experiences that we had, they changed our brain. But we can still change our brain by going against the grain and doing something different. How do we learn? We have chemical signals in our brains that said to have the neurons go into action. So to give you a visual, like these are, so there's our brain, and then we have the neuron, and then there's neurons that come out. These are neurons. And when we learn something, so let's say they're separated, the idea is that they're going to come together, right? When we learn something, they, in a sense, get closer to each other. And we keep trying, and they get closer to each other. When we give up, or when we stop practicing, then they remain stagnant, and then a space is created. We keep going, they get closer, and we keep trying, and it gets harder, but we keep trying, and then a connection is made. When that connection is made, that means we have accomplished that skill. We now know how to do the first level math problem. We now know how to swim, right? And then this connects to another neuron. So now that we know how to do one, let's say math, I'm trying to think math. We know how to calculate, calculate percentages, right? So we've created that. And now from percentages, we now can learn how to, what would be the next level? Break down fractions, okay? So from this connection, another connection is made. And it's like from this root, because it's growing. If you can imagine the plant, right? So if there's energy that's flowing that's saying, this is the skill to learn for this thing that we're practicing, and we got that. So now from here, something else grows from that root, right? And that's what we want. We want to change our neurons. We want to keep building on what we have so we can grow and get beyond where we were, and we don't want to give up. The more that we do it, the easier it gets, right? So I want to do this exercise with you that will challenge you to, you would just be like, oh my gosh, what is happening here? But what's happening is that your brain is really tested. And some of you might find that you can actually do something with your, like you can, with the practice, even in this moment, in the next 5 minutes or so, you might find yourself getting better. So here's the thing that what you're going to do. You're going to take your hands, one hand, make it a fist. And if you can come, and this will be great if you all come onto video so I can see you, we can all see you, because this is something that we're going to want to see, right? So we'd love for that. What we're going to do, and I'm going to describe what we're going to do. So you're going to put your hand in a fist, one thumb goes up, and the other hand, you're going to point your finger, just pointing at your thumb. So this is all that it is, right? Now, that's easy. Everybody could do that, right? This is where the challenge is. The challenge is to flip it. So now this, and I'm going to mess this up. I guarantee you that. So I'm going to say it right now. This hand is going to go into a fist with the thumb up, and this finger is going to go into a point. All right? So that's easy because I did it like one step at a time. Now, the trick is to do it at the same time, right? So let's see. Boom. And again, boom. Okay, wait, what? All right. So this is a skill that you never did before. It's requiring something from your brain, right? So who could do it like real easy? Who's got it? Oh, look at Tarnese. Oh, go girl. Oh, the John. Wait, there's something wrong with me. Oh, wow. Okay. So when you first did that, your brain was like, you could feel it, I'm sure. Your brain was like, what is going on here? And then, so imagine your neurons were way out here. It's like, I don't know what's doing. I see Theodora, right? And then with continual action, your neurons got closer to each other. And so John's connected and Nigel's, Darnice connected. I didn't see Nigel's. Okay, move it, Nigel. You're frozen. You got it. All right, Nigel's working on it. She's working on it. All right. So there you go. Thank you for that. That's actually a thing. That's a brain training thing called binaural interference. Okay, so I want to take you through this exercise beyond what we just did. And I want you to bring up your dreams. Bring up the blocks. Oh, I'm going to show you this too. I gave you a hand exercise or a visual of what the neurons are, but I actually have a screen share. And these are what the neurons look like. The first one is what baby's neurons look like, newborn baby. A month later, you can see that there's a little bit more. 6 months later, there's a lot more. And there's a lot more other growths, offshoots. So that means that 6-month-old baby is learning more of the world. They're learning to do more things. And the more things that they learn, the more neurons grow and the more neurons connect with each other. And look at this one for 2 years old. So we want our brains to do that. There's the 0 to 5 is a critical age because that's when our brain does the most growth. But we still continue to grow. And these things die off too. So if you don't use them, they will die off. Here's another picture. This one on the left is your normal, healthy neuron, and the one on the right is neurons that are damaged by toxic stress. The toxic stress is ACEs. So even though you see less of them on the right, these have been damaged because of the stresses and the lack of resilience in the person's life, but they can come back, all right? In one form or another, they can come back. We need to build resilience in our lives. Resilience like talking to somebody, resilience like doing fun things like dancing, mindfulness, meditation, walking, eating healthy, okay? Studying, challenging yourself to do something that you couldn't do before, and then celebrating when you have succeeded. This one is like a cartoon example of what it might mean, what it could look like. So like how the skills connect. So if you look over here on the right side, so in the center is the brain. On the right side, there's on the red, this red line, these red neurons, right. So right connects to drawing. Drawing connects to paint. Drawing connects to build. Okay, going back to the right. Right connects to test, which connects to develop, which connects to make. So that's, I wanted just to show you this and how the neurons connect around a particular skill. And I think that was it for my screen shares. Oh no, there was something else. Sorry about that. This was the activity I wanted to take you to. All righty. So we're going to do some work so we can reverse these challenges that we've experienced in our lives. So that those feelings, we're going to drop that feeling. And my gifts, I was looking at Chantel and how she always has like little gifts on there. So I'm like, I'm gonna do that too. All right. So here, the first thing you're gonna do is to identify that feeling that's blocking you. What is it? Is it procrastination? Is it fear? Is it insecurity? Whatever that feeling is, I want you to bring that feeling up. And you can screenshot this so that you can have this process for and use it going forward. So on your paper, write down the feeling. Write down the experience, whatever it is that's blocking you. And then I want you to imagine that it's not real, that this feeling is there. It feels real, but it really isn't real. It's not real because somebody gave it to you. It was a figment of their imagination and they gave it to you. It wasn't even their imagination, it was their distress. So if they came from a place of understanding that anything is possible and it's okay to dream and that you are smart and your brain can grow and get strong, then came from a place of wanting to support and as in the best way possible, then they definitely would not be giving you the messages. Or if you were the one to give the messages to somebody, you would not do that because you would have a bigger picture. You would be living your bigger self and of course want to share that bigger self with somebody else. So we only know what we know, right? We can only teach what we know. So because a person didn't know, they just didn't know. And we don't have to take on that. Now that we know something different, we can say, okay, separate it. That's them. This is me. This is what I know and understand. Right? So in doing that, we're reclaiming our power. Because we lose our power when we believe that we can't, when we believe someone else saying we can't, when we believe someone else saying that we're stupid or whatever that is. We reclaim our power when we begin to question things and to change our thoughts. So we're going to do that. So this feeling that you had, I am insecure, change that thought right now. So what would the thought be? If you're not insecure, what are you? What's the feeling behind what it is that you're declaring yourself to be right now? This is your new way of being. So if you came from a poverty mindset, we don't have money, money doesn't grow on trees, then you're reclaiming the power. Changing your thought is money is fluid. Money is everywhere. Money is my abundance. And the feeling is, you create the feeling. So the feeling could be, I'm excited. I am supported. I'm feeling joyful. I'm feeling joyful. Right? So the feelings, happy, sad, mad, scared, right? Which one of those feelings, this is the joy feeling that we want. So think about the versions of joy. Happy, blissful, excited, wonderful, you know. So now we also, and you heard an affirmation in the words I said. I am abundant. I am joyous. That's the affirmation. It's present tense, first person. I am, and whatever that verb is that you are feeling, whatever that action word that you are feeling, create that affirmation. And then you thank the experience for what it has taught you. So we are here today because of what we got yesterday, last year, 10 years ago, 30 years ago. We're here today, and we know what we know today because of that. So we want to give thanks for that. And even if someone says something to you, even right now, right, that's not affirming, we could thank them, like not thank them in the sense of, well, you just woke me up. Because if that's what you think, then I now know I'm triggered by the words that you said, so I can step away from that. Like, you brought it to my attention. I don't like the way it feels. And so I'm going to continue to build on myself as a shield against thoughts that you have. Right? So that's that. Do that thing. Drop that feeling. So it's 8:12. I could probably take one or two people to come on to audio and share with me this exercise. I'd like to put them through that. What's happening in the chat? Did I miss something?
So Kenyofu, there was a request for the information that was on your slide in the chat. So I dropped a screenshot of it in the chat for Teresa. And then did you want to select someone to
I did.
go through the exercise? Before you do that, we do have a hand raised. Mm-hmm. So which direction would you like to go in?
I'll take the hand raise.
Okay, Teresa Scott, can you come off of mutes?
I just want to say I feel so powerful by joining your group. I feel like I could do some things that by joining this wake up club, not wake up club, but wake up family, and I just feel so powerful by being part of this family, because I didn't believe in myself like I believe in myself now, and it's like it's like when I miss getting up here, I feel like I missed something that was good. And it was like, I don't mind if I'm tired. I don't care. It was like, I feel like this has changed my life. So just doing this today is like a confirmation of the progress and where I come. And I just want to tell you thank you, because I didn't believe in myself. And it's like even doing homework, I really enjoy doing my homework. I'm in the Be the Tree, and I enjoy doing my homework. I never enjoy doing homework. It's like I love studying and learning things, and I'm just learning so much. So just the like we said, those neurons, how my brain is just opening up and healing is taking place. Things that I forgot, I'm remembering again, because I had a problem with memory loss. So it's just a wonderful thing that this wake up community is giving us. And I just want to tell you thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Teresa. You are blessed. All right, yes, so let's choose somebody to work with. Teresa, did you want to work with something? Did you want to go through this exercise?
I just used to feel like I was dumb all the time, but I know that I'm not dumb. I used to feel that I couldn't learn and I couldn't progress. And it's like stuff that I worried about, like not making money and not having money, is not as important to me like it is. It's like I want to learn things, because it's like what's the purpose of me having money if I don't know how to manage the money, or even I don't even know how to have, if I'm not managing myself to know, like, when the money does come in, you know, that I'll do great things with the money, not just, you know, buying stuff or doing things with the money. So, you know, it's like, I don't feel dumb. I don't feel dumb. I feel like I'm very, very smart. And I've probably always been intelligent. And like you said, forget about what was said, and it's true. Just forgetting about, you know, what people are telling you is not important. You know, just work on what you can do. So I feel like, you know, that's something that I am doing. And it's really empowering, you know, and it's like, and I'm sticking with what I want to do, not what other people tell me what I want to do. You know, because that was one of the other things too that I did. I let other people change, you know, my idea about what I thought I needed to do. So, you know, just having my own thoughts, you know, like I'll say no, like they'll say, well, I know that's not what I want to do. I already told you what I want to do. So just to be able to stand, you know, on my ground and say, no, this is what I want to do. And that's it, you know. So just being able to make those decisions is so powerful now, you know. So it's like, I don't have to keep on using my mother, whatever happened to me in my past, to stop my progress. So that's the great thing, you know.
Yes. Teresa,
Yes, ma'am.
in the things that you said, I heard a couple of affirmations. Can you identify, can you go back and make affirmation sentence? It's first person, positive, and verb. I am
Powerful. I am a genius. I am a philanthropist. I am changing the world. I am a great mother. I am a powerful Black woman. I am very healthy. I love eating right. I love taking good care of myself. I love, you know, spending time with myself. I love being alone. That even that by itself, I love being alone. It's like, and it's not because I don't want anyone, but I didn't spend time with myself. So I love spending this time with myself, and I'm learning. I love that I'm learning about myself. I love that I'm seeing the beauty in me that I've never seen in me. I love that my eyes are opening. I love that my heart is big. I love that I can take deep breaths. I love that I could just look outside and see beautiful trees. I love that, you know, the sun is beaming in my face every morning.
That's beautiful, Teresa. Wow.
Yes.
That you have like 2 pages of affirmations right there. Did you have those? No. So I feel like you were creating those affirmations on the spot.
Yes, they was on the spot. It wasn't nothing that I wrote down. They just came like straight from my heart.
Yes. And that's exactly where that's the place to live right there.
Yes.
Just to get into the feeling of how powerful you are, claiming your power, and then speaking the affirmations from your power, it's going to put you in the place of attracting all of that to you.
Yes.
And you also are allowing your neurons to move closer to each other.
Yes.
So thank you for that wonderful, wonderful example.
Thank you very much.
Kenya, there's a request in the chat to see the brain image again.
Oh.
And then we are at 8:15. Did you want to select someone else to share?
I would like to have one person share, but let me put up this screen share again.
Okay.
And then I'm not sure which one they were requesting because I had.
It was the one with the branches, I believe. Okay. Jacqueline, if that's not correct, please correct me.
This is the one of the child's development?
No, the one before with the brain and
the colorful branches.
Yeah, the cartoon. Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Sure.
So Jacqueline, before you run away, can you share the exercise? Did you do the exercise?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. Are you willing to share?
Sure. I'm still working on it though. One of the things that's been blocking me is procrastination. And I get that from working with Mika, that it's about not feeling good enough. I I probably always had that issue of growing up feeling inadequate, not feeling, whatever, not feeling confident about a lot of things, even though I project that sometimes. It's one of those things that's there. And I know it's probably coming from my mother or somebody else's distress because they didn't meet their goals. And there's that terror behind not being able to support yourself and insecurity and not being able to maintain a home or something like that, because I know my mother's been homeless a couple of times before I was born. And so her fear was always that you wouldn't have enough money, a secure place to live. So she kind of pushed that on to us. And so sometimes I feel like, I'm not doing enough to secure my position in life, even though I'm retired. So now I'm trying to work towards finishing my dissertation, and there's a block. And the block comes from me not feeling like I can do this, even though I have gone through all of the coursework, and it's just the point of just writing. And writing is something that I do well, but sometimes I feel like my writing is not good enough or somebody's is better. I think it's a comparison thing too. So my change thought is I am enough and I can do this. So I'm good enough, I am enough, I can do this, and I'm enough and I can do whatever I desire to do. So I want to thank you guys, and I want to thank everybody for the experience of working through this, and I'm still working on it, and I will continue to work on it until I finish. So I'm working and I'm still gathering information, but it's time for me to sit down and relax and write. And that's about it. I'm complete.
Ashe. All right. Keep energizing those affirmations and feel the power when you say them. Thank you. All right. So I'm gonna move to close, and I have one last video to show you. And getting there. Oh, sorry. Okay. So, okay. Here we go.
On their first day here.
Sorry.
Today, over 3. There's a lot that the kids need to know. A letter to a person on their first day here. Today, over 360,000 babies will be born, and you are one of them. Welcome, this is the world. It's a pretty cool place. There's lots to see, smell, there's corn dogs. I'm getting ahead of myself. There's just so much to do. Singing, dancing, and laughing. Laughing's the best. It's especially great when you laugh and milk comes out of your nose. But only if you just have milk. Otherwise, it's just gross. Some days gross things will happen. Some days awesome things will happen. Some days you'll get ice cream. Some days you won't. Some days your kite will fly high. Some days it gets stuck in the tree. It's just how it is here. There's plenty of reasons to dance. You just gotta look for them. Don't worry though, you won't be doing this alone. You're gonna meet lots of people here. Some of them will be really nice, and some won't be. It's not that they can't be, it's just, maybe they're just having a bad day. Being a person is hard sometimes. You should give people high fives just for getting out of bed. Oh, high fives, I forgot to explain that. How do I explain this? It's kinda, high fives are like hitting someone who is your friend. That's really bad. Just treat everybody like it's their birthday, even if they don't deserve it. Because we all mess up sometimes. The biggest mess up, not forgiving each other's mess ups. Maybe you'll be a teacher. Maybe you'll be president. Maybe you'll cure every disease ever. You might even see the Grand Canyon, swim in the ocean. Oh, this is so much. It's a lot. Try this, take a breath. Isn't that amazing? It's called breathing. You're gonna do it a lot, but nobody knows exactly how much. So enjoy it. Pay attention. Take brain pictures. Because amazing things will happen every day. You're gonna do so much. But it's not about what you do. It's about who you are. And you're awesome. You're made that way. You're made from love, to be love, to spread love. Love is always louder, no matter what. Even if hate has a bullhorn, love is louder. So let your life be loud. Let's shout to the world. Things can be better. It's okay about all the mess ups. Going back to rule. Sorry, I'm just keep bringing that up. I don't think I told you this yet. We're really glad you're here. We don't say that enough to each other here because, well, life gets busy. You're gonna be important and you're gonna do a lot. And you're gonna smell great, but don't get too busy. Remember to let everybody know you're glad they're here. You don't have to remember all this right now. You're gonna need a pep talk sometimes, and that's okay. For now, remember this. You're awake, you're awesome, live like it.
Woo, 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 woo.
Who said that? Caddy?
That was Teresa.
Teresa? Oh, okay. All right, so this is what I want you to do in closing. I want us to do a chain, and we're going to pass the phrase, I'm glad you're here, to somebody. So I'm going to call your name. You two people, I'm going to call you off of mute. So Jacqueline and John, take yourself off of mute. Jacqueline, say to John, I'm glad you're here, John.
John, I'm so glad you're here.
All right, thank you. John, come off of mute. Theodora, come off of mute. John, say to Theodora.
Sorry, what's the statement?
I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. I'm glad you're here too.
Thank you.
Theodora, you're going to say to Louise, I'm glad you're here.
Louise, I am so glad you're here.
Louise, you're going to say, sorry, go ahead.
Am I supposed to say it back to her?
Well, I'm doing the chain. You can,
Okay.
but I'm doing a continual chain.
Okay, sorry.
No problem, no apologies. Louise, say to Charmaine.
Charmaine, I am so glad you're here. I love your energy.
Charmaine to Stacy.
Stacy, I am so glad you are here.
Woo! Stacy, say to Zakia.
Zakia, I am glad you are here.
Thank you. Ditto.
Zakia, say to Terry.
I am so glad and grateful that you are here.
Terry, say to Teresa. Terry, can you come off of mute?
Oh.
Okay.
I'm off. Can you hear
You're
me?
off.
Okay.
Yes. So you're going to tell Teresa, I'm glad you're here.
So, Teresa, I am so glad you're here.
Thank you. Me too. I'm glad I'm here too. Woo.
Teresa, you're going to say to Doreen, I'm glad you're here.
Miss Doreen, Miss Doreen, I'm so glad you are here.
Thank you.
Doreen, say to Marie, I'm glad you're here.
I'm having a hard time hearing. I'm turning up my volume, but it's not getting any louder. Would you just say who am I saying it to?
Marie.
Marie. Marie, I am so glad you're here.
Marie, say to Nija.
Nija, I'm so glad you're here.
Nija, say to Shawnee.
Shawnee, I am so glad you are here.
Shawnee, say to Kathy.
Thank you, Nija. Kathy, beloved Kathy, I am so glad that you are here.
Thank you.
Kathy, say to Hattie.
Hattie, I am so blessed and just so glad that you are here. Thank you.
Hattie, can you come off of mute? Okay, oh, there she goes. Moto E6. Is that a person or a duplicate device? I'm gonna come back to you, Cynthia. So Hattie, say to Cynthia, I'm so glad you're here.
Cynthia, I am so glad you are here.
Thank you so much.
Cynthia, say to Cheryl.
Cheryl, I am so glad you are here.
Thank you.
Cheryl, say to Shauna.
Shauna na. I'm so glad that you are here.
And
Thank
Shauna, I'm the last person.
Kinyofu, I am so glad that you are here.
Thank you. And everybody, I'm so glad that you are here. This has been awesome. Thank you.
Love you, love you. Thank you. Grateful you're here too.
Thank you.
Absolutely awesome.
I feel so loved. Thank you, King Yellow.
Yes, thank you, Kinyofu.
Thank you. So beautiful.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
One of the best
Beautiful
things.
presentation.
all
I'm
time.
always so blown away when you present. It always brings out something unexpected and just beautiful. And I'm so grateful to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kathy. So here's my special offer. I realize that there's something that I have to give, and this whole piece is like it's gotten me to make these steps that I've made in my life in the last half year really. I'm feeling really grateful, and I wanted to share what it is that I have been learning and doing. So the package, this is a coaching package that I've created. It's 3 50-minute sessions. I'm giving it to the Wake Up community for $225 for the 3-session package. It's valued at $450. I'm titling it From Blocks to Breakthrough. So this conversation is what we're going to be working on. The exercise that I shared with you, in addition to some other exercises we're going to work with. So you get to develop new neural pathways, you get to raise your vibration, and you get to manifest your dreams and desires. So if you are interested, you can go to this link here is bit.ly/blocks2breakthrough. And you could take a screenshot of that and see what that dream is that you have that has yet to be birthed. You can contact me here, my telephone number. I have 2 Facebook pages here. One is my personal page, and the other one is the business page that relates to trauma. I'm calling it Teaching for Resilience. I have my Instagram at my name, and my email is at my name through Gmail. And my website is fighttrauma.com. I invite you to visit my website. And I'm so grateful to be in this space. I'm so grateful to have attracted each one of you. It has grown me and stretched me, and it's making me more of the person that I am. And I know there's a whole lot more to come. I'm owning my gifts. I'm owning my talents. I'm owning my knowledge, and I am sharing in ways that I never thought that I would share before. And so here is the love offering and donation. I invite you to give back, like this this whole experience of being living from the heart, teaching from the heart, and making the world a better place. I'm actually living my dream. I wanted to change people, change the way that people interact with each other. I wanted to have people be happier. And I realized that I've been doing that in the work that I do. And now I'm owning it and I'm feeling good about it. So I'm asking you to spread the love, to share the love, and show your appreciation in the form of money. And so it is Zelle and QuickPay. Okay, that's that. Sorry. Zelle, QuickPay, SOW Leadership Development at gmail.com, Cash App, $ Spirit of a Woman, and my code is number 175KM. Thank you, Nigel. Tomorrow, Sunday. Tomorrow, Sunday? No, wait, oh no, so not tomorrow. On Sunday, we will be meeting Frank Love, and he will be presenting Creating a Loving Culture in Your Relationship. So this is our next session, which will be on Sunday. We are here Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursdays for 90 minutes from 7 to 8:30, and on Monday and Wednesday for 30 minutes from 7 to 7:30. We're live on Zoom for those 5 days. We also stream to Facebook. Thank you so much. Do stay in touch. You can, if you have not already, registered with bit.ly wake up /wake up movement. That will get you your email so that you can know who's coming up next and be in touch. You can sign into the Facebook community through the bit.ly /WUE community. We have Instagram and YouTube, and if you want to contact us, you can go to the email and share your comments.
Thank you, Kenyofu. Thank you very much for this great session. Family, we are at the end and we are closing, and we want to share our traditional love shower with Sister Kenyofu, who has shared so much on the topic of it's all relative. So I invite you all to please unmute yourselves and bid her goodbye and well, and just share any offerings of love verbally that you have at this time.
We love you, Kenyofu. Thank you for
Love
being
you,
the
love
same
you,
for
cousin.
children
Love
and
you.
families. We
Thank
love
you.
you.
Thank you, Kenyofu. Thank you so much. I so
Thank you
appreciate
so
your
much.
energy.
Love
Living
you.
the
You being my
dream.
doula
Amen.
for over
Hallelujah.
17 years
Thank
ago.
you,
Just helping me with
Thank you
getting
always.
into my
You are a true
chosen
inspiration.
Inspiration
Thank you
for
for
us
taking us
all to
pathway.
live our
to our
dreams, live with
childhood.
passion,
Where we
have
can
such
actually
abundance
unblock
of
things that frustrate us,
Thank
things
you
that we
so much.
said, or things that we experienced
Still on
from
a high.
childhood.
So I
Please,
text a couple of you.
you will
I'm
always
happy
stay
they're here.
Love and light to
and
you.
prayers
love,
and
love.
keep us
Wishing
lifted.
everyone a
Cheers.
good day.
So
So
be
happy
love,
everyone's
be
here.
love.
Happy to wake up everybody. So happy to see Kinyofu. Miss
Good to see
Johnny.
you
Miss you,
smile.
wonderful
Yes.
admin.
Thank you.
Great day,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your energy. Thank you.
Love y'all. Peace and blessings. Thank you,
Thank you,
family.
admin
Thank
team.
you, Sean. Love y'all. Mwah. Have a blessed day.